Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And my job today is to tell you about Tarilian Laser Technologies and what we believe will be a revolution, not just in blood pressure measurement, but importantly in the complete area of hemodynamics. And before I start, one thing I will just say at the beginning is that as a species, one reason why we are successful has always been cited to be our brain power and neuronal capacity. But indeed, if you look at the success between ourselves and many other species, it's really been dependent on vascular flow. And because our vascular flow is so successful, we're able to basically stand up and do a lot of things that other species are unable to. We're also very dependent on perfusion in organs. What we've done at TLT, and I think I'm having some trouble with the slides here. Okay, right. Yeah, okay. What we've developed at TLT is a novel optical technique of measuring blood pressure and hemodynamics. This is a technology developed in Hertfordshire, fully patented, and now entering the market in the next 12 months. We have developed a complete cuffless system of blood pressure measurement where you apply a small sensor to the surface of the body and you can make a blood pressure measurement almost anywhere, including the legs, the neck, so you can get a carotid blood pressure, and you can even apply it to a closed eyelid to develop a central retinal arterial blood pressure. This is a high-performance, high-fidelity signal that's generated a large bandwidth, and as a result, we're getting a full set of hemodynamic data. This is the sensor a few years ago in size. As you'll see on the right-hand side of the first image on the left, that is the size of the sensor that we're migrating to, a very small micro-optical sensor. And on the image on the right is a cutaway of our current sensor showing the aspects of performance with that one. What we are now doing is building our next prototype device, which will be then going into production. This will be the size of a credit card. You won't need a cuff. You won't need any other contraption attached to this device. This will basically give you continuous blood pressure, beat by beat. For every beat, a systolic and diastolic blood pressure. And this can go on virtually forever. The average lifespan could be as long as 5 years if you wanted to. We can also depict a lot more data from this application, so we can show you the outflow from your heart, ventricular outflow, and many other things to do with arterial hemodynamics. Now, why is this important? It's important because at the moment we're plagued with using fairly old-fashioned devices, which the chairman has referred to, which are cumbersome, where compliance with measurement is difficult, not only for the patient, but also for the doctor. And the whole idea about TLT is to make blood pressure simple. You apply this device within a second, and you'll see it in action now, and effectively you will start getting a reading. So this is an example of a prototype we have currently. You have an ordinary sweatband, an athletic sweatband. That's the sensor being applied, in this case, to your wrist. It can be applied anywhere on the body. And as you'll see, it's attached to a computer. It can be equally attached to your cell phone. And all you do is press a button, and hey presto, you've got a live reading of your blood pressure. In this case, this is a hypertensive trace, a patient who had high blood pressure. And you'll see on the top curve the blood pressure that's derived, and also on the bottom, blood flow within that artery in question. Okay. And that is a beat-to-beat reading. At the same time, from this, we can measure cardiac output as well. Moving on, this is a normotensive trace, a normal trace, and you'll see the same data sets, blood pressure, and again, you can see on the right-hand side a beat-to-beat blood pressure, and then averaging over several seconds. Now, what we intend to do is to take the first prototype that we're taking into production and migrate that through other possible modalities. And you'll see on the left-hand side there, basically something which will be the size of a credit card. Equally, this can be integrated into your laptop, into a cell phone, even into clothing. It can be part of a USB stick or even the mouse on a computer. And not only do we deliver blood pressure, we also deliver other things such as ECG and cardiac output data as well. As has been mentioned so far, you know, the athletics monitoring business is about to really explode in a major way. And again, TLT has developed what we believe is a very powerful pervasive sensor, which will not only give blood pressure readings, but will tell you a lot about flow in the key organs in question, even during exercise. And what we're aiming to do is to create a paradigm shift away from what all of us are familiar with in either hospital or in the community, where you have cumbersome devices, you know, using pipes and tubes and cuffs, and basically getting away from that and having them integrated either into everyday devices, such as cell phones, or even into clothing, making the whole process much more accessible and suitable for continuous reading. TLT have recently announced a major consortium, probably one of the world's largest studies in blood pressure measurement and hemodynamics ever put together. And this is a consortium of key universities in the UK, including Oxford University, the William Harvey Research Institute, and Queen Mary University and Imperial College. And we are, over the next couple of years, conducting fairly extensive studies, evaluating our product in intensive care, in post-surgical environments, and even in the operating theatre and in general practice. This consortium is due to announce another level of activity in the next few months. And just to conclude, the organizers asked me, well, why was this technology developed in Hertfordshire, in the UK? Well, there are several reasons why. One is obviously the team we have are global experts in their own right, very experienced. We've developed hemodynamic devices before. We have a strong track record of innovation. But equally, there is something special about where we're placed in Hertfordshire. The golden triangle, as it's referred to, between London, Cambridge, and Oxford, where there is an excellence in optics and electronics and a very strong entrepreneurial spirit. And another speaker or another delegate earlier on discussed issues to do with support and finance. Well, actually, if done correctly and if supported by UKTI and UK government, we can actually have a very successful medtech industry in this country. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Steve. Okay. I think we'll take questions on each presentation as they arise. So any questions now? Well, I suppose the quick question is, can you explain in a nutshell how it works?
Sure. Basically, what we're measuring are 4 vectors. Whenever blood flows through any limb or any part of your body, what you have are 2 flow measurements that are measured. One is arterial laminar flow, arterial pulsatile flow. You also get something called volume change in that area of question, which again our sensor measures. And finally, because it's a flow sensor, we're also able to get arterial wall movement as well. So those 4 vectors put together allow us to make blood pressure measurement. The reason why this technology is so successful is because of the sensitivity and specificity of the signal that we generate. It is a very data-rich signal. Indeed, we only use something like 5% of the capacity of the signal. And right now, we have already begun programs evaluating the full potential of this technology across the body.
Okay, thank you very much indeed.
Yeah.